Geometry Dash had a bunch of updates since it was released in 2013. There were 12 major updates from 1.0 to 2.2, but if we count the smaller updates, then we have a lot more. All of these updates changed the game so much, and with every new version, the game felt fresh. From a simple 2D jumping game, we've come a very long way, and you can do almost anything in Geometry Dash. You can make this, and you can also make functioning 3D levels somehow. Look, you can turn, jump, and the level even has rotating stuff, and stuff that kills you, and stuff that doesn't, and these cool 3D checkpoints. Look how 3D this looks! But how did we get here? In this video, we go back in time to see the best thing about every Geometry Dash update, and we will see how Geometry Dash became the game it is, version by version. Before we start, I would like to thank all of you for watching this video. Only a microscopic amount of you are actually subscribed, so if I can ask you one thing, subscribe if you like this video. For 1.0, I cannot say really much other than the whole game. Geometry Dash was released in 2013 before some of you were even born. Boom! Roasted! Guess what? You could only play 7 levels. The first was Stereo Madness, that was kinda obvious. Then Back on Track, Poltergeist, and so on, until Jumper. This is not a lot compared to how many levels are out there. There are now 22 main levels and more than 125 million online levels that you can play. Fun fact, there was already an editor in 1.0, but only a few people knew about this game, so there were not a lot of levels online. Also, this is all we had in 1.0. Imagine building something unique with this. Then one day, randomly, Geometry Dash 1.1 was released. It was not a huge update, but it gave direction to the development of the game. This update added Time Machine, which is not the favorite level of most of us, because... But there was a new portal. You could now go to the left side if you wanted. Amazing, right? No. A lot of players get frustrated by this portal, especially when this happens. This is definitely not the best feature. The mirror portal is a torture, but hey, we got a comment section on online levels. You might say this isn't a big deal, but think about it. This was the first time you could express your opinion respectfully on someone's work, and because of the comment section, the game started becoming more like a community. Look, it's the same people communicating in the daily chat. Hey WhiteCat02, comment if you're watching. Without this, moderators would have to message you to let you know that they played your level. Sometimes you can even get a wrapped up comment. Tell me another game that has comment section on levels. I'm waiting. Another month later, 1.2 came out, which was a pretty small update again. It contains cycles, no way, which contains a new game mode, the ball. And balls contain... If you understood, you understood. Also, why is there a random spike inside the block? It was not hard to choose the best thing about this update. We love balls because they can go through tight gaps. Take Bloodbath as an example. My Hardex Extreme Demon! Michigan's iconic part in Bloodbath wouldn't be complete without this game mode. Also, there's the iconic Theory of Everything 2 ball part, which inspired a lot of levels in the future. Maybe not the best example. From this point, it was kinda obvious that to bring more variety to the game, there had to be more game modes. Another month later, Update 1.3 came out. I swear we would be at like Update 16.5 if updates kept coming out every month. This version brought X-Step and the blue jump pad and the blue orb to the game. This was absolutely huge. In X-Step, these blue jump pads are used as obstacles at the ship part, which is, I think, a really clever idea. These seemingly average objects change the way creators make gameplay and how much they can do with their levels. Did you really think this was enough to be the most important feature in 1.3? Seriously? You're dead wrong. This is when the leaderboard was added, and this was the first time you got stars after beating the level. This is historical, because this is the reward system of the game. This thing alone made Geometry Dash competitive, grindy, and addictive. Saying this with 8,000 hours, I need to get a life. Star grinders appeared out of nowhere, and suddenly, playing the game had a purpose. Grind tons of boring, hard and old levels which use the same 10 songs. And you had to do this on a phone that was made in like 2013 or earlier. What was the best phone back then? Like the iPhone 5? It sucks to play GD even on my iPhone 12. I have some stars myself. This is probably why this update is close to my heart. Also, I have some demons, which is totally not flexing. 1.4 introduced the favorite level of many of us, Clutterfunk. That was a joke. One addition stands out, however. The mini game mode. This was a great addition to Geometry Dash, whether you agree or not, because it can shrink your balls, because it adds even more variety and depth to the gameplay possibilities. Shrinking the character changed everything, because you know, it's way harder when you're mini. Not speaking from experience. It's a great way to make your levels more challenging. At this point, the game actually has its own identity and it's not the impossible game anymore. There's I Spy with My Little Eye, for example, which is a level where you're mini the whole time. This contrast in size between the player and the eye is a clever way to make you feel how small you are in the level. Also, there are ways you can make a coin only obtainable when you're mini. Update 1.5 added another very simple yet very important game mechanic for the editor, the copy-paste. It was like a gift from heaven. It made creating way easier, faster, and a lot less annoying. Did you really think the copy-paste is the best feature for 1.5? It's the UFO. Tight spaces, Flappy Bird, an unreasonably difficult icon to obtain, click patterns, amethyst, broken keyboards. Okay, maybe it's the copy-paste, not the UFO. To be serious, the UFO is good. It can be a fun game mode because the gameplay is straightforward and every click boosts you to the same height, therefore it's way easier to control than the ship where you just woggle around. But still, the copy-paste button is better because without it, it would be impossible to make a good and long level. Like, seriously. Would you like to make this without copy-paste? Then update 1.6 came, which was small but at the same time huge. This is when Clubstep came out and it was the first... Wait, what's that? A demon? This is when the demon difficulty was added to the game, inspired by Demon Park, which was the hardest level and the first demon. But this is not the end of the story. Clubstep introduced 3 secret coins as well, which added a collectible element that required actual skill and memory to get. With all that, all previous levels got 3 coins added to them. The demon difficulty became a badge of honor, a real flex. Secret coins also added more achievements, a reason to replay levels and explore alternate paths. From this point forward, the game was not just about reaching the end. We can see the game kept going in this direction because we have orbs, diamonds, keys. I would even say gauntlets and map packs are somewhat collectible because you have to go through each one of them. When releasing update 1.7, RobTop was thinking, how can I spice up the game a little bit without these colorful portals? It seemed like the game had everything. Instead of experimenting with new game modes, he added another kind of portal, the 4 speed portals. Slow, normal, fast and super fast. This completely changed the pace and feel of some levels. You could go from slow to... It made gameplay so much more dynamic and let creators build tension in their levels and make epic drops. Now imagine electrodynamics without speed changes. Now you understand the importance of speed portals? Yeah, 1.7 was fast, chaotic, but we have a good reason to love it. Update 1.8. Have you ever wanted to control 2 icons with 1 brain cell? Me neither. This update added dual portals and 2-player mode, which basically means RobTop wanted to fry our brains. Some of the most iconic level segments come from dual gameplay. It can be a nightmare, but in a fun way, because it's really satisfying when you successfully do it. Let's look at a fun dual level. Maybe not the best example. Jonathan GD is perfect to demonstrate how significant this update was for the game. His dual parts are actually very good to play after you learn how to do them. This is one of the things Jonathan GD is famous for. Don't get me started on the 2-player mode. People can play together, or at least try, without yelling at each other and giving each other punishments.
That was you.
That was me!
That was you.
Oh my god!
Do it.
1.9. Oh boy. This was such a banger update, I have to talk about 2 great things about it. Let's begin with the custom music system.
You know what time it is? Disco time.
This meant that the creators were no longer limited to the same few default songs. With the integration of the website Newgrounds, you could suddenly use thousands, if not tens of thousands of songs in the game. And because of that, levels started to feel 100 times more diverse than ever. Suddenly, there were levels where you can actually fall asleep, and we had other levels like... But let's not forget about the Wave game mode, which is the best game mode, objectively speaking. The Wave is now one of the hardest and most iconic parts of GD gameplay. First, we had 9 circles, and now we have... 1.9 was the beginning of the golden age, and if you ask me, this is where things really started to evolve. 2.0 was revolutionary. Even Viprin said it. 2.0 was the biggest update GD had ever seen at that point. It introduced Geometrical Dominator, which is fine, and it introduced Deadlocked, which was a super hard demon back in the day. A lot of new content was added, like user coins and the robot game mode, which is the same as the cube but can jump higher basically. It added teleport portals, monsters, and much more. But despite the tons of new things, there's something way better that was added. Remember Geometrical Dominator? The level doesn't even begin, but you can already see objects that are moving? This was insane back then. There were 3 new triggers in the editor: Move, Alpha, and Pulls. And Wrapped Up immediately started abusing them. Objects could now move, disappear, change color, and flash in sync with the music. Hi Jeremy. Without the move trigger, you couldn't make a custom background or depth effect either. This was the birth of story-driven levels. The move trigger made some incredible things possible, but as the saying goes, with great power comes great responsibility. Ugh. And with the new alpha trigger, you can do things like unexpected transitions, invisible portals, and stuff like that. Luckily these days creators know how to use these triggers. 2.0 is when Geometry Dash stopped being just a game. Creators could express real creativity. 2.1. This one update took more than 500 freaking days to develop, and there is a good reason for that. This update introduced so much new content. Spider game mode, orbs, which you can spend in the shops, and the shops were also brand new. It also added quests, and the daily level, and the gauntlets. But these are boring, like, we have the same 3 quests every time. The daily level on the other hand can be completed in a few attempts. Of course I die at the swing copter. However, the rating system had some very exciting rework. First of all, there was the new epic rating, which helps separate higher quality levels from the rest. One more thing Wrapped Up did with the rating system in 2.1 was the introduction of demon difficulties. In 2.0, the Nightmare and Bloodbath had the same difficulty. Imagine, this was very useful, because from now on you could search for specifically easy demons or only extreme demons if you wanted. I could finally find demons faster. 2.2. This is a hard one, because 2.2 was a very big update. It almost doubled the game in file size. To demonstrate how big this update was, this is how many triggers and level modifiers we had in 2.1. And this is how many we have now. We also got the new platformer mode where you can go wherever. We got a new game mode, which is definitely not the best. 2 new shops, event levels, versus mode, lists, a particle editor, and a lot of other cool stuff. Which one is the king of all new things? Well, I think it is multiple things in the editor. With these new triggers, a lot of new stuff became possible, like this, like this, like this, and this. With the SFX, we can make immersive platformer levels, and with the other triggers, we can make them so you can interact with the level. The warp and particle features can help you optimize your levels, and there is the other 90% that I don't even know about. 2.2 was the editor overhaul. It's insane how different GD has become since 2.2 dropped. The thing is, we can be happy about the new content. Even though it seems like we now have everything, there are a lot of exciting things coming to the game in the future. I genuinely loved making this video and I hope you liked it. In case you would love to see more, please subscribe, and if you want to talk to me, please join my Discord server, which is in the description. You are the best. Mwah!